Hey guys, welcome back to my smutty little book club. If you're new here, I'm Danny, and I talk about books, specifically Romantasy. It's been my favorite for a long time, and I'm glad, as a community, we're all talking about that now, that we've all just been reading smut. So I'm really excited for today's video. I'm going to be talking about what's on my TBR list, and it's split into two separate categories. The first half is going to be books that are about to be released, so they'll be released sometime this year. And then the other half is going to be books that are already out, so you could check them out if any of them interests you. This is just, what I think sounds good. It's, geared towards my taste. So I'm going to read the description on the back of each book cover, and we will go from there. I don't know if I need to say, I don't know if I'm saying any of these right. This is how my brain interprets names, cities, anything. It's a wazi.
It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist.
Just leave it at that. Let's dive into this. Okay. First and foremost, we have Blood Beneath the Snow by Alexandra Kennington. Its release date looks like it's going to be March 11th, 2025, so this year, next month. That's very exciting. I think it's literally a month from today, from when I'm filming it. That's crazy. Revna is no stranger to struggle. As the only member of the royal family without a magical ability, she's seen as an embarrassing mistake by her kingdom and a blight on her bloodline. Can't be having no magic in these magic books. It's really embarrassing. Luckily, Revna has found family and other outcasts in her kingdom, but when her two closest friends' lives are put in danger, she is determined to save them by any means necessary, no matter the cost. Probably something illegal. The Bloodshed Trials, a competition where the last sibling wasn't illegal, just a trial, the harrowing trials. The Bloodshed Trials, a competition where the last sibling in the royal family standing takes the throne. Might just be the ultimate price. Revna turns down her arranged marriage and commits to competing for the throne, only to be kidnapped by the mysterious and terrifyingly powerful Hellbringer. You can bring me hell any day. The general of her country's greatest enemy. He has the ability to rend souls with the flick of his wrist and is every inch as intimidating as the war stories say he is. But Revna wonders if there may be some humanity left in him, especially when he reveals there are other parties who want her on the throne for their own secret reasons. This seems right up my alley. This just seems right up my alley. I love court intrigue. Oh my gosh. I love court intrigue. I love a little magic. Next is The Windweaver by Julie Johnson. And that is set to come out April 8th this year. The cover's gorgeous. It's just beautiful. It's like some kind of phoenix, celestial. It screams fantasy. All right, I'm gonna start over. Fear of magic plagues war-torn Anwin. Halflings like Rhea Fleetwood are killed on sight, but Rhea's execution is interrupted by an expected savior, one far more terrifying than her would-be killers. The mysterious and mercenary Commander Sith. In the clutches of this new enemy, Rhea finds herself fighting for her life in the barren reaches of the Northlands. Yet the farther she gets from home, the more she learns that nothing is as it seems. Not her fearsome captor, not the blight that ravages her dying realm, not even herself. For Rhea is no ordinary halfling. The strange birthmark on her chest and the wind she instinctively calls forth means she's a remnant. One of the 4 souls scattered across Anwin, fated to restore the balance of magic or die trying. But mastering the power inside her is only the beginning. Desire for the commander, a man she can never trust. A man with plans of his own burns just as fiercely as the tempest beating against her ribcage or release. Ooh, just the bag get a little spicy. Rhea must choose, smother the flames or let them consume her. Girl, let it consume you. Shoot, looks like you already decided based on the back of the cover. Shoot, it's a little hot in here. Okay, ever since I was a child, I have had an obsession with the elements, and it definitely stems from my unhealthy obsession with Avatar: The Last Airbender. I wanted to be Katara. I wanted the water. Okay? So any book that's kind of oriented towards like having connections to the elements, I just love it because I'm just like living my childhood. It's fantastic. But yeah, it seems like a really good book. Very spicy, that excerpt. I will be reading that. I don't know if you guys will, but I'll be certainly reading it. Next is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. And I don't know if you guys know this. If you follow me on Instagram, I did a lot of short form book reviews in the past. And I did a book review on One Dark Window, the One Dark Window series by Rachel Gillig as well. So the same author who wrote that wrote this book, and it's coming out May 20th. So keep your eyes peeled because Miss Rachel's at it again. Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is, I don't know if it's diviner. I'm gonna go with diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's windswept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral, rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome. The knight Roderick has no respect for Sybil's visions. Am I sensing electoral enemies to lovers? Ooh. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them, for the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Ain't nobody like peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. Now, Ms. Rachel, I love that last line. I don't know why she watched this, but if you're watching this, fantastic last line. Brilliant! Only a heretic can defeat a god. Suck me in. Like that. That was such good writing. I loved that. Enemies to lovers, it seems like. Country in peril. Windswept marshes. Could you ask for more? Probably not. The last one in the to be released part of my TBR. The sequel to When the Moon Hatched. I don't know if you guys have read that one, but I am very excited. For me, it's a very highly anticipated release. The book is called The Ballad of Falling Dragons by Sarah A. Parker. This is book 2 in the series. That one's set to come out October 7th. Honestly, there isn't much information on it quite yet. So there isn't like a back cover excerpt for us to read, but I am on the edge of my seat. Sometimes when I read a book and I have to wait like a year for a sequel, I'm not gonna lie to you, even if the book was good, I just forgot. Like, I'm terrible at remembering. I could be better. I could be better at that. But this one I have not forgotten about. It has been a year for me, and I am very much on top, like scoping the internet for details, and there are no details. Let me know if you guys might be interested in any of those. Maybe we could have a little book club when it comes out. We could read it together. So I don't know, you just let me know. Okay, second part of my list. All of these are out now. You can go get them as I speak. As I'm doing this video, get it on your Kindle, order it on your Amazon, run to Walmart, I don't know. The first one is not a surprise to anyone. You probably heard it, it's already out, but I'm just gonna let you know, so consistency's sake. It's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. It's book 3 of the Iron Flame series. I believe that's what she calls the series. It's the one everyone's talking about, you know? It's book 3, so I'd like to really read that one. Feel like I don't necessarily have to read the back cover because it's book 3. Next book is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. 24-year-old Serpent Fane is good at keeping secrets. That was an inside joke, I'm sorry. My sister and I sometimes, when we share a secret, we get all giggly about it and we'll just whisper secrets to each other. So if you ever see us doing that in public, we're talking about you. 24-year-old Serpent Fane is good at keeping secrets. No one knows about the strange powers she possesses, or the fact that she has been picking pockets and stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. But a secret is like a knot. Sooner or later, it is bound to come undone. When Ceres comes face to face with death himself, she inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms and is transported to a land of ice and snow. The Fae have always been the stuff of myth, of legend, of nightmares. But it turns out they're real, and Ceres has landed herself right in the middle of a centuries-long conflict that might just get her killed. The first of her kind to tread the frozen mountains of Yavalia in over 1,000 years, Ceres mistakenly binds herself to Kingfisher, a handsome Fae warrior who has secrets and nefarious agendas of his own. Man, he must be plotting and scheming if she's using words like nefarious. I'm sorry. I just thought when I'm reading a book and I see that word, I just don't ever read it like nefarious. It's nefarious. But that might just be me, because I'm a little kooky. Where was I? He will use her alchemist's magic to protect his people no matter what it costs him or her. Death has a name. It's Kingfisher of Agen Gate. His past is murky, his attitude stinks, and he's the only way Ceres is going to make it home. Be careful the deals you make, dear child. The devil is in the details. What is with these authors and these like poetic I mean, I guess it's to get you to read the book. Well, it's working. This is the first book that I bought on my TBR. It's sitting in my room right now, ready to be read. We gonna see what kind of nefarious activities he's up to, and I will let you know, because I will do a book review on it. Next, The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Clarissa Broadbent. I've seen this cover so many times, and I don't know why. I think it looks a lot like, this sounds bad, but it looks a lot like When the Moon Hatched. For some reason, I think my brain thought that those were the same book. They are not the same. They're separate. The adopted human daughter of the Nightborn Vampire King, Aurea carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is entering the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy amongst the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. To survive, Aurea is forced to make an alliance with the mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet, what terrifies Aurea most of all is that she finds herself oddly drawn to him. And we know what that means, ladies.
Love games.
But there is no room for compassion in the Kajari. War for the House of Night brews, shattering everything that Aurea thought she knew about her home. And Rain may understand her more than anyone, but their blossoming attraction could be her downfall. a kingdom where nothing is more deadly than love. Little information at the bottom of it that says The Serpent and the Wings of Night is the first book in a new series of heart-wrenching romance, dark magic, and bloodthirsty intrigue. Next, A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. I've seen this one a lot. Just haven't gotten around to reading it yet, but it is on my TBR. It has been on my TBR. I've seen people either love it or hate it, so I want to make my own judgments. A shield maiden, blessed by the gods, battles to unite a nation under a power-hungry king, while also fighting her growing desire for his fiery son. Ooh, that's drama right there. In this Norse-inspired fantasy romance from the best-selling author of the Bridge Kingdom series. Found in an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish, but dreams of becoming a warrior and putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Jeez. Freya's dreams abruptly become reality when her husband betrays her to the region's Jarl, landing her in a fight to the death against his son, Bjorn. To survive, Freya is forced to reveal her deepest secret. She possesses a drop of goddess's blood, which makes her a shield maiden with magic capable of repelling any attack. It was foretold such a magic would unite the fractured nation of Scotland beneath the one who controls the shield maiden's fate. Believing she's destined to rule Scotland as king, the fanatical Jarl binds Freya with a blood oath and orders Bjorn, I'm gonna say Born, I don't know, to protect her from their enemies. Desperate to prove her strength, Freya must train to fight and learn to control her magic, all while facing perilous tests set by the gods. The greatest test of all, however, may be resisting her forbidden attraction to Born. If Freya succumbs to her lust for the charming and fierce warrior, she risks not only her own destiny, but the fate of all the people she swore to protect. Well, that's quite, that's a lot of responsibility for one woman to shoulder. I mean, she'll do it with grace. The next one is The Witch Collector by Charissa Weeks. I think it's Charissa. Every harvest moon, the Witch Collector rides into our valley and leads one of us to the home of the immortal Frost King to remain forever. Today's that day, collecting day. Ugh, sounds like... It's giving me like Divergent vibes, and I know it's nothing like that. But he will not come for me. I, Reyna Bloodgood, have lived in this village for 24 years, and for all that time, he has passed me by. His mistake. Hey! Reyna Bloodgood has one desire, to kill the Frost King and the Witch Collector who stole her sister. On collecting day, she means to exact murderous revenge, but a more sinister threat sets fire to her world. Rising from the ashes as the collector, Alexis Tybalt, the man she vowed to slay, and the only person who can help save her sister. Thrust into an age-old story of ice, fire, and ancient gods, Reyna must abandon vengeance and aid the Witch Collector, or let their empire and her sister fall into enemy hands. But the lines between good and evil blur, and Reyna has more to lose than she imagined. What is she to do when the Witch Collector is no longer the villain who stole her sister, but the hero who's stealing her heart? That's a pickle. That is a pickle. I feel like that's gonna be one of those stories where it really kind of has you weighing like what you would do in that situation. I know it's gonna end in romantasy. I understand. Seems like there's gonna be some crazy character development. I hope there will be. And the last book in my TBR that I will be talking about today is Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. And I've heard a little bit about this. Haven't really heard many people talk about it. But it kind of sounds like a Beauty and the Beast vibe. We'll see though. We'll see. Some things aren't supposed to exist outside of our imagination. 13 years ago, monsters emerged from the shadows and plunged Kiersey's world into a cataclysmic war of near total destruction. The New York City she knew so well collapsed practically overnight. Ooh, it's gonna be like it like enters into like our society, like breaks the fabric of our reality. Love those books. It's not done nearly enough. In the wake of that carnage, the Monster Treaty was created, a truce of sorts. But tonight, Kiersey, a gifted and fearless thief, will break that treaty. She'll enter the Holly Library, not knowing it's the home of a monster. He's charming, quietly alluring, terrifying. But he knows talent when he sees it. It's just a matter of finding her price. Now she's locked into a dangerous bargain with a creature unlike any other. She'll sacrifice her freedom. She'll offer her skills. Together, they'll put their own futures at risk. But he's been playing a game across centuries, and once she joins in, there will be no escape. Sounds like he's been playing chess, and she walks into his library trying to play checkers, and she gonna get messed up when she finds out it's chess. That's how I feel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's a few books that, caught your eye, and if you're gonna read any of them, or if you've read any, and if you'd like to give me some insight, like, hey girl, maybe this one isn't worth reading, or hey, read this one first. Help your girl out. And if you want to read some of these books along with me, I'd love to find a way to do that, whether it's like a little live stream, come read with me. I don't know, but I'd love to form a little bit more of a book community and talk about our smutty little books at our smutty little book club. And until next time, thank you guys for being here. Hit the subscribe and the like, and I will see you next time.